luck with that. Health training session. Down Stadium is a non-smoking facility. Smoking is not allowed in the stands around the lower level, including the restroom. If you do just smoke, you'll have to go outside the ballpark in this area. We appreciate your consideration and cooperation. Don't forget that all foul balls out of play, either into the stands or outside the stadium, remain the property of the Dorado Broncos and should be returned to the concession stand where they may be rewarded for the all profits.
Hopefully chased last night's off.
I heard they were
A little curious.
We'll go ahead and give you the starting lineup for the Liberal BeeJays. The BeeJays are coached by Daniel Parker. Leading off and playing center field, number 1, Nate Crossman. Batting second, the shortstop, number 2, Zach Cook. Hitting third and playing first base, number 8, Chad O'Donnell. Batting cleanup and playing left field, number 23, Derek Scott. Hitting fifth is the catcher, number 10, Colton Onstein.
Dale, it's not coming through.
That all?
Part of it did, part of it didn't.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Okay,
That sounds like it.
Okay, we'll fire this in. Here's the starting lineup for the 19th team, the Liberal BeeJays. The BeeJays are coached by Daniel Parker. Leading off and playing center field, number 1, Nate Crossman. Second, playing shortstop, number 2, Zach Cook. Hitting third, the first baseman, number 8, Chad O'Donnell. Cleanup hitter tonight in left field, number 23, Derek Scott. Hitting fifth and playing catcher tonight, number 10, Colton Onstein. Batting sixth at third base, number 27, Gage Q. Hitting seventh as a designated hitter, number 21, Trent Maloney. Batting eighth, the second baseman, number 4, Brennan Rhodes. Batting ninth, the right fielder, number 9, Caleb Ward. On the mound for the BeeJays, number 20, Darren Cook.
No, I'm just listening when you keep going.
I'd like to announce that the PM Music Festival held July 28th and 29th. You have a chance to win an autographed guitar signed by Hank Williams Jr. and Leonard Skinner. The Dorado Broncos have tickets available for just such an opportunity. Ticket costs are $1 for one or $6 for 5 days. Those are available at all the Broncos games prior to the event and at the 2-day event. If you need more information, call 316-621-1255 or go to www.eldoradobroncos.org. The guitar will be given away on the 29th at the Jam Music Festival at the El Dorado Lake. And you do not need to be present to win. So, get those tickets and see if you can win that guitar.
Where does Ruger coach, Gary? Where does Ruger coach? He's at Augusta?
Yeah,
Assistant?
He's an assistant. right, Broncos fans, let's get on our feet and welcome to the field the starting lineup for your El Dorado Broncos. The head coach of the Broncos is Tony Reuter, who is assisted by Joe Kennedy and Nick Griffin. Leading off tonight at third base from Alma College, number 4, Garrett Coyne. Batting second is your shortstop from King University, number 5, Tyler Bailey. The catcher is from Newman University, number 26, Aaron Mack, hitting third. The cleanup hitter tonight, first base from Labette Community College, number 13, Colton Shanker. Hitting fifth and playing left field from Purdue University, number 29, John Agar. Batting sixth and playing center field from the University of California, San Diego, number 31, Chad Crosby. Hitting seventh as a designated hitter from Alma College, number 24, Josh Briggs. And batting eighth and playing right field from Coffeyville Community College, number 8, Ben Olson. Batting ninth at second base from Butler County Community College, number 7, Mason Go. On the mound tonight for the Broncos, from Treasure Valley College, number 16, Hunter Larson.
Found it.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome. It is time for Bronco baseball on a beautiful Friday night here in El Dorado. Tonight, the El Dorado Broncos entertain the first place Liberal BeeJays. Good evening. Kurt Caden with you tonight, and ready for a fun night of baseball and a fun weekend of baseball. A lot of activities going on this weekend here in El Dorado. Let's take a look at the starting lineups. The batting order for the Liberal BeeJays looks like this. Nate Crossman will lead off. Zach Cook bats second. Chad O'Donnell will bat third. Garrett Scott fourth. Colton Onstadt fifth. Gage Tier will bat sixth. Trent Maloney batting seventh. Brennan Rhodes will bat eighth, and Caleb Ward will bat ninth. For the El Dorado Broncos, well, let's try to zoom in on them out there. In left field, of course, the net will bother me a little bit. There's John Laguerre. Center field tonight, Chad Crosby. So Kyle Barfield, a rare night off. And in right field is Ben Olson. Around the infield, well, there's Jarrett Coyne, number 4. He's at third base tonight. Tyler Bailey. There he comes into my picture. Bailey's at shortstop. Mason Goad plays second base. First base for the Broncos tonight is Colton Shanker. Behind the dish tonight, there's Aaron Mack. And pitching is Hunter Larson. So those are the starters tonight for El Dorado and for Liberal. Try to get this camera set up all right here for you. And the first pitch from Larson is out of the zone, ball one. Our first pitch temperature tonight here in El Dorado. I'll give it to you here in just a second. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. And that one misses. 2 balls and no strikes. So our first pitch temperature, 77 degrees. We had a cold front roll through. And it is just a beautiful night. There's some light cloud cover up above, but not any threatening rain or anything. Looking at the radar, there's just a few spotty showers right on the Kansas-Oklahoma border. We here in El Dorado are just fine from rain, so just a nice, pleasant evening. Very light breeze. 2 balls, 1 strike, and the pitch, and that one bounces in. It's 3-1. So 3 balls and 1 strike to the leadoff batter, Nate Crossman. Nate Crossman plays center field for the BeeJays. Crossman from Derby, Kansas, goes to Neosho County Community College, and he looks at strike 2. So a full count. El Dorado in their home whites tonight, orange numerals and black trim. Liberal has the camouflage orange or blue and red tops and white pants. Larson's pitch inside corner, strike 3 looking. So Larson with some inside heat got Crossman, who never got a swing off there. So 1 away for the Broncos here in the top of the first inning. Zach Cook, the shortstop, will come up. He's a left-handed batter. Flower Mound, Texas, goes to UT Arlington. 1 ball, no strikes. Daniel Parker is the head coach for the BeeJays, and Toby Reuter for the Broncos. Toby got ejected here last night. Larson low, 2 balls and no strikes. Nice to have you tuned in tonight here on YouTube. And we will look forward to visiting with our fans, both from El Dorado and Liberty, from you as well tonight. 2 balls and no strikes coming to Zach Cook, the shortstop. That one's in there for strike 1. Hunter Larson last night, of course, with the bat, had a terrific at-bat and a little looping single into right field. Gave the Broncos some much-needed insurance, and then Josh Riggs came up and tripled him in. Here's a ground ball out to Bailey. He'll gather, fire over to first, and retire Cook. So 2 away for the Liberal BeeJays here in the whole top half of the first inning. Okay, Chad O'Donnell will... Or Cale O'Donnell. Why'd I put Chad? Cale O'Donnell, the first baseman tonight from Fort Collins, Colorado. Metro State is where he goes. Hunter Larson, tonight's starter, as he starts off O'Donnell with a strike. Hunter Larson from Emmett, Idaho, goes to Treasure Valley College. 6'1", 215. He's a righty. And this pitch in the turf, ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Garrett Scott waits on deck. Hunter Larson comes into play tonight with a record of 1 win and 1 loss. This is his 4th game, his 3rd start, and an ERA about 3.3. Larson has pitched 13 1/3 innings this year, given up 15 hits, 5 runs, all earned. 5 walks, 9 strikeouts. 1 win and 1 loss for Hunter Larson. 1 ball and 2 strikes here to O'Donnell. Right-handed batter for the BeeJays. And the pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. And a very nice first inning for Hunter Larson. 3 up and 3 down. So we'll go to the bottom of the first inning. It's Liberal 0, El Dorado coming to bat. And welcome back. Bottom of the first inning here. Let's run down the lineups. The batting order for the Broncos tonight: Jarrett Coyne will lead off. Tyler Bailey bats second. Aaron Mack third. Colton Schenker will bat fourth. John Laguerre fifth. Chad Crosby bats sixth. Josh Riggs seventh. Ben Olson will bat eighth. And Mason Goad bats ninth. For the BeeJays out in the field, Garrett Scott is in left field. The center fielder is Nate Crossman, and the right fielder, Caleb Ward. Around the infield, Gage Tier is at third base. The shortstop is Zach Cook. Brennan Rhodes is at second base. And the first baseman is Cale O'Donnell. Behind the dish tonight, Colton Onstadt. And pitching for the BeeJays is Darren Cook. So Jarrett Coyne will lead it off for El Dorado here in the bottom of the first inning. And the first pitch from Cook right in there for strike one. BeeJays and Broncos, game 1 of 3. These teams will see each other again next weekend in Liberal. Coyne hits one into foul territory, first base side, and it's caught over there by O'Donnell. So that's the first out of the inning. Tyler Bailey, a grand slam last night. And at the time when he hit the grand slam, it gave El Dorado a 9-0 lead, and we felt pretty comfortable. But then here came Hayes, and they trimmed it all the way down to 9-7, but El Dorado was able to recover, and the Broncos won it 16-9 last night. The Broncos, in that series with the Larks, they led 16 of the 27 innings, but won only one game. Bailey fouls this one straight behind us, and it's 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes here to Tyler Bailey. Aaron Mack will be on deck here for El Dorado. So here's the 0-2 pitch. That one's high and through the glove of the catcher, Onstadt. 1 ball and 2 strikes here to Tyler Bailey. Bailey last night, a single, a double, and a home run. And that homer was a grand slam. He had 5 RBIs. Terrific night for Tyler Bailey. He was batting last night in the 6th spot. And tonight he moves up to the 2 spot. So 2 balls and 2 strikes here. So Cook looks in. The righty winds and deals the pitch. That's a little bit low, ball 3. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Very pleasant for the players. There's no sunlight looking into, yet still a little bit of a bright sky, but it's no shadows to deal with. Here comes the 3-2, and that one's high, ball 4. So our first base runner of the night belongs to the Broncos, Tyler Bailey, with a 1-out walk. So Aaron Mack will step up. Aaron Mack leads the team in home runs with 4. This is his 17th game. He's batting .286, 49 at-bats, 14 hits, 12 runs scored. He's driven in 9. And again, like I said, 4 home runs on the season for Aaron. He leads the squad. First pitch in there for strike 1. Tonight's pitcher, Darren Cook from Lamar, Colorado, goes to Lamar Community College. 5'10", 185 is Darren Cook. Bailey, a modest lead off of first. And the pitch, and Mack swings and misses. So it's actually 0-2. Apologize for that graphic mistake. Be the first of probably a few. No balls, 2 strikes. Tyler Bailey down at first base, and the pitch is high. Bailey got a pretty good jump off of first and then hustles back. 1 ball, 2 strikes. For Cook, this is his 4th game, his 4th start. He's got 1 win and 1 loss. 17 innings of work. He's only given up 2 earned runs. Wow, good start for Darren Cook. Here's the 1-2. Bailey bluffs. Max swings and misses. So 2 away, and that'll bring up Colton Shanker.
Number 13, Colton.
Shanker playing first base tonight. He started on the mound last night, went 3 innings for the Broncos. Taylor Woods ended up getting the win last night for El Dorado. He pitched 4 solid innings for the Broncos. So Colton Shanker stepping in. And the pitch, that one's in there for strike 1. Cook is right there. He did walk Bailey, but for the most part, Cook early on is right around the zone. Shanker waits for the 0-1 pitch from Cook. Bailey on the move. That one's in the turf. Good pick by Onstadt, but Bailey's going to steal the base. Onstadt did everything he could there. That was a ball in the turf. He picked it clean, came up throwing, but a good jump by Bailey, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. So that's the first stolen base we've seen from El Dorado since down in Oklahoma City. So the Broncos looking for a 2-out hit here to take an early lead against this tough righty, and Shanker lifts it out into center field, drifting over his crossman, and he's got it, and that will end the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 man left on base. We'll head to the second inning. Liberal and El Dorado, no score. Nice to have you tuned in tonight. You're watching and listening to Bronco Baseball right here on YouTube. No score between the Broncos and the BeeJays. We head into inning number 2. Garrett Scott will lead it off for Liberal here in the top of the second inning. Garrett Scott from Klein, Texas, goes to Western Texas University. 6'1", 190. Sophomore, right-handed batter. And he bats in the 4 slot here for the BeeJays. And Scott was ready for fastball. That came in curveball and in for a strike. Scott took a big first step. He was ready to unload. He was expecting maybe a fastball. So the pitch from Larson, and this one's low, ball 1. Hunter Larson goes from the stretch, does not wind up, just as if there was runners on base. And Larson with the pitch, high and tight. 2 balls, 1 strike. Larson had 2 strikeouts in the first inning. And the 2-1 pitch, swing and a miss. Strike 2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes here to good-looking right-handed batter and Garrett Scott, batting .400 on the season. 1 long ball, 4 doubles amongst his 18 hits. Curveball dropped in, but I think when it went across the zone, it was high. Dropped into the glove of Aaron Mack in the strike zone, but it was high before that. So here's a 3-2 pitch. And on the outside corner, strike 3. Another strikeout for Larson. So 1 out. And here comes the catcher, Colton Onstadt. Onstadt batting .370. Of course, a team that is having so much success like the BeeJays, you're going to see some pretty good averages, you would think, and we're seeing that. First pitch to Onstad is high, ball one. Onstad, 46 at bat, 17 hits. He has 12 RBIs. Trails just O'Donnell in that category here out for Liberal. Lifts one out into center field. Crosby will settle under it, and he makes the catch for the second out. Our email address, let's get that out. I would love to hear from you tonight. El Dorado fans, Liberal fans. Of course, Liberal broadcasts their games on the radio with the very capable Brock Kappelman, friend of mine. But I know sometimes it's fun to watch and listen. And so, and we invite you to be a part of the broadcast. First pitch to Gage Tier is in there for strike one. Our email address is cadenbroadcasting@gmail.com. CADEN, cadenbroadcasting@gmail.com. Always fun to find out who's watching, where are you watching, what player are you watching, and then the cherry on top is when we get photos of how you are watching the game. Of course, plug your HDMI cord into your TV, you can watch it there. Sometimes out on the deck, we've had some really cool pictures. Last night, the Riggs clan sent me a picture. They were gathered all around their couch watching the game. Really fun. So, Liberal fans, we'd love to hear from you. And, of course, the Bronco fans, as always. 2 balls, 1 strike to Tier, and he got under this one and fouled it out of play. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Just a perfect night for baseball, and it looks to be a perfect weekend for baseball here. Not expected to get back into the 90s until, I think, Wednesday. Of course, Wednesday night, we'll have a doubleheader here against the Derby Twins. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Larson goes with the curveball, and it just missed, 3-2. So Larson's got 3 strikeouts, but he's gone 3-2 on about 2 or 3 hitters now of his first 6. So 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 away, and the pitch, and it's popped up into foul territory. Ranging over is Schenker, and he'll make the catch. 3 up, 3 down for Larson and the Broncos here in the second inning. We've played an inning and a half. Liberal 0, El Dorado 0. We're back with more play-by-play in a moment. You're watching and listening to Bronco Baseball right here on YouTube. So John Laguerre is going to lead it off here for the El Dorado Broncos in the bottom of the second inning against the tough righty Darren Cook. First pitch, a little bit low. It had a lot of the dish, but low, ball 1. John Laguerre from Purdue University. St. Charles, Illinois is the hometown of Laguerre. Lifts this one foul, and it'll go out of play. We've had a lot go right over the top. Another one on top of the press box. Of course, we're plenty covered here, but that's a couple of roof rattlers we've had tonight. So 1 ball and 1 strike to John Laguerre. Right-handed batter is Laguerre, slightly open stance. Cook will wind and deal the 1-1. That one is high. Laguerre checked, and he checked in time. Yep, 2 balls and 1 strike. Hello to CJ, my good buddy CJ, who groomed me all those years ago. Laguerre will try the right side. This will end up in the BJ bullpen. Foul ball. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Appreciate CJ and the nice message tonight. Laguerre, Crosby, and Riggs, the scheduled 3 for El Dorado here in the 2nd inning. And Laguerre hits it up the middle. Ranging over to short is Cook, over to first, and that retires Laguerre. So Cook with a nice pick and an easy throw over to first to retire John Laguerre. So here comes Chad Crosby, the center fielder. Crosby with a home run here on Wednesday night. It was a 2-run home run, and at the time gave the Broncos a 2-0 lead. They eventually took a 3-0 lead on the Larks, but Hayes scored 3 in the 8th, 2 in the 9th. They knocked off El Dorado on Wednesday night here, 7-4. Broncos lost Tuesday to Hayes, was it 4-0, and then 5-0, I should say, on Tuesday. Lost to Hayes 7-4 on Wednesday. Came back with a 16-9 win last night over the Larks and sent Hayes back home. The Larks taking on Derby tonight. No balls and 2 strikes here to Chad Crosby, the center fielder. And the pitch, and Cook. Well, that's an excellent 1-0-2 pitch right there. He just missed the outside corner. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Crosby, a left-handed stick for the Broncos. And the 1-2, again close, but not there. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Second baseman Rhodes, he plays out on the grass for the BeeJays. Now takes a couple steps in. There's a foul tip. Just barely nicked that one, did Crosby. Chad Crosby from Mission Viejo, California, 6', 190, goes to the University of California at San Diego. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And the pitch from Cook, that one stays upstairs, 3-2. So Crosby fell behind 0-2. He's worked it to 3-2. Taking a look at the picture, and as you can see, if those of you who are new to our broadcast, just got the camera up here. I'll zoom in from time to time, but we cut off third base just a little bit, I see there. So much action at first base. I like to make sure we've got that on the screen. And I wish I could broadcast and run the computer and keep score and run the camera, or, follow the baseball. Can't do all that, but hopefully you're enjoying our product here tonight. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Crosby. Cook from the first base side of the mound, and he steps off. No score. We're in the bottom of the 2nd inning. And Cook with the pitch, and Crosby hits it towards second base, charging in his Rhodes over to first, and an easy put out. And that's 2 ground balls for the BeeJays here in the 2nd inning. Here comes Josh Riggs, and boy did Josh Riggs have himself a night. Did not start last night, came in the 3rd inning to hit for Meyer and stayed in and played third base, and all Josh did was go 3 for 4 with a triple, 2 singles, and 4 runs batted in. And Josh Riggs was hitting early in the count last night. First pitch, second pitch, and he was jumping on it. This time he's taking and takes an inside fastball for strike 1. No balls and 1 strike here to the designated hitter, Josh Riggs. And the pitch, and that one's in there for strike 2. Riggs at 6'6", grips that bat. It looks like just a twig in his hands. Here's the 0-2, and a swing and a miss, and a good inning for Darren Cook and the BeeJays. 3 up, 3 down. We'll head to the 3rd inning, and we have no score between the BeeJays and the Broncos. More play-by-play in a moment here on YouTube. And welcome back here to El Dorado. Sorry if you're watching and wondering why the camera... So my camera kept kind of moving slightly. Here's a high pop. This is Coyne's going to give it a look. He goes to the fence, but is going to run out of room. One ball. Or excuse me, no balls and 2 strikes here to the leadoff batter for the BeeJays here in the 3rd inning, Trent Maloney. So my camera was kind of moving a little bit, so I was trying to tighten it. Which is always such a great idea to do while we're broadcasting, you know. Sure appreciate the camera stand I have, but it's a little squirrely. So, oh boy, let's see. So if you'll bear with me here, I've got to trying to tighten up my stand. One ball, 2 strikes. And the pitch, that's fouled straight back. Boy, if anyone parked right behind us tonight, they are probably wishing they hadn't, because there's some nights where we don't get many balls that go right over the top. But tonight would not be one of those nights. 1 ball, 2 strikes. This one's flared. Will it stay in? Coyne coming over to the dugout. It'll land on top of the El Dorado dugout. And I do apologize for this camera work here. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Now I can work on my graphic. Maloney, Rhodes, and Ward are the scheduled 3, and this one's lifted out into left field. John Laguerre in foul territory will make the catch for the first out. So 1 away for the BeeJays here in the 3rd, and here comes Brennan Rhodes. Our first email of the night comes from a BeeJay fan, Michelle Onstadt. Says the Onstadt family is watching in Nebraska tonight, and Dad gets the beanbag and enjoying sunflower seeds while he watches. Here's a fly ball into Chad Crosby in center field, and he is right underneath it for the 2nd out. So hello to the Onstadts. Their son is catching tonight for the Liberal BeeJays, and we're glad to have you tuned in. And I like the setup. That's how I do it. I got my laptop, and then you plug that HDMI right into your TV, and it's not bad. Can't tell if that picture, let's see. Trying to get this camera to work with me here. It's working against me right now. And now I'm a little more on the third base side. No balls and 1 strike to Caleb Ward. Michelle Onstadt, thank you for the email. Larson in there, just missed. 1 ball and 1 strike. 2-way for Liberal here in the top of the 3rd inning. Probably mess with the camera more in between innings, so you may want to turn away for a few moments so you don't get dizzy. Drives me crazy to watch the herky-jerky camera work. 2 balls, 1 strike to the right fielder, Caleb Ward, right-handed batter. And the pitch, that one's right in there for strike 2. We are waiting for our first hit. We've only had 1 base runner between the 2 teams tonight. That was a 1-out walk to Tyler Bailey in the 1st inning for El Dorado. Here's the pitch, inside corner, strike 3. Hunter Larson goes through the first 9 batters clean. We'll head to the bottom of the 3rd inning. El Dorado and Liberal, no score. Back in a moment here on YouTube. And they're working on the camera. And then I just heard from Michelle Onstadt and their family, so I thought I would zoom in on Colton Onstadt and let them get a look at him, albeit from the backside. Catchers, that's what they get. They're used to that. Here's Ben Olson leading off for El Dorado here in the bottom of the third inning. He fouls off the first offering, out of play, strike one. Ben Olson from Coffeyville Community College. His hometown is Bethel Heights, Arkansas. And that one in there, a little changeup, good on the outside corner for strike two. No balls and 2 strikes. Here's the 0-2 outside, ball 1. Darren Cook pitching for Liberal, and he has been a tough customer this season against opposing batters. Here's the 1-2 pitch. And Olson lifts it out into left field, slicing towards the line, and that'll be foul. Garrett Scott gave it a good run, but couldn't catch up to it. Ben Olson on the season. He's batting .259. This is 10th game, 27 at bats, 7 hits. 2 doubles for Ben Olson on the year and a couple of RBIs. 1 ball, 2 strikes. It's 8-9-1 for El Dorado here in the third inning. And the pitch hit up the middle softly. Rhodes will range over, make the play, and retire Olson. So 1 out. And that'll bring up Mason Goad, the number 9 batter for the Broncos. And some more emails have been trickling in. Good to see. So Julie Riggs, I like getting my nightly emails from the Riggs clan. I don't get tired of those at all. And Goad hits one over the shortstop and right into the Bermuda Triangle. A base hit for Mason Goad. He hit it over Cook, the shortstop. Scott and Crossman were coming in, but Goad put it in the perfect spot. So our first hit of the night is for Mason Goad, and here's Jarrett Coyne. Julie Riggs with Jay and Marlene Grossnickel watching from the Kaliva Park, where brother Jake is playing slow pitch. All right, go Josh. The Riggs family is either watching baseball or at a park or something. And I'll get the picture back up. I lose my picture. 1 ball and no strikes. There we go. We're back fine. Jared Coyne popped out to the first baseman O'Donnell his first time. 1 ball and no strikes. On the move is Goad. Swing and a miss by Coyne. Throw down to second and a steal for Goad. So we did not see much running at all from El Dorado against Hayes. I don't remember an attempt. But already 2 steals for El Dorado here in the first 3 innings. Thank you, Julie, for the email. And another Michigan email has come in. I'll tell you about that in a moment. 1 ball and 1 strike to Jarrett Coyne. Right-handed batter, Jarrett. And the pitch. And that one's low. 2 balls and a strike. The Irons groupies. Nancy Randall telling me they have Josh's grandma Patsy with us, friends Jim and Donna, and of course Uncle Bob, Aunt Nancy, and the infamous, my favorite, it's Aunt Sally. Love Aunt Sally. Coyne fouls this one off his shin, and it's 2-2. In fact, I now am Facebook friends with Aunt Sally, so I see a lot of the photos and whatnot. So I'm starting to get to know the Michigan clan, the Irons clan. Thank you, Nancy, for the email. Nice to know that you're out there and the whole family watching and listening tonight. Friday night baseball. Can't beat it. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 1 away here in the bottom of the third inning. And the pitch to Coyne. That one stayed upstairs. Ball 3. So 3-2. Olson grounded out to second. Goad singled and stole second. That's where he stands. Oh, I should do this. Sorry about that. I get excited about the emails, and then I forget to put my graphic up there. There we go. I got the runner at second base. 3 balls, 2 strikes. And the pitch from Cook. And it's grounded towards third. That was just foul. Good glove work over there by Tier. Would have been an interesting play over at first. It would have been a long throw, and Coyne was really moving. But we'll do it again. And let's see who else. Randy M. down in... Randy's in Florida, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I'll quit messing with the camera now. I think I'm good. I may zoom in from time to time, but I think if you could only see the tripod I've got, you would understand. Here's a 3-2 pitch to Jarrett. Coyne bounces it again, foul. Randy and Betty, and they're cheering on, of course, their boy Austin Meyer. Yeah, I apologize. Again, just trying to tighten. I'll do that before we go on the air tomorrow night. I need to get under there and tighten the tripod to the camera is a little loose. 3 balls, 2 strikes. And the pitch, and Coyne swung at maybe ball 4. Good at bat, but Darren Cook wins that battle. So here comes Tyler Bailey. Tyler Bailey. Boy, what a great night last night. Fun for him, I'm sure. Lynn Donovic from Houston, Texas. Good to hear from you, Lynn. Here's the first pitch to Bailey, and that's well outside, ball 1. And it is, she says it looks like a great evening. It is a great evening for baseball. The lights are on now, but there's just a light cover of clouds right above us. No threatening clouds, no wind, upper 70s. I mean, this is what I think people always ask for. Bailey, a swing and a miss. Challenge fastball, and Bailey took a mighty whack but missed. So 1 ball and 1 strike. So Lynn and Steve Donovic, thank you for watching and listening here tonight. 1 ball and 1 strike to the shortstop, Tyler Bailey. Right-handed batter is Bailey. Goad over at second base, and that curveball dropped in there for strike 2. It was a ball. So good to have the Shorts here. The Wolves filled in nicely, but Dale and Gina Short are on the PA and the scoreboard. Of course, our trusty statistician Gary never misses. He never sleeps. He doesn't miss any baseball. 2 balls, 1 strike. Bailey fouls this one out of play, and now it's 2-2. Tyler Bailey from Stafford, Virginia. Goes to King College, 5'10", 170. And Tyler on the season just been kind of up and down. He's at 283 right now, 60 at bat, 17 hits. He's driven in 13, looking to drive in 14. Trying to break through against his tough righty, Darren Cook. 2 balls, 2 strikes, the pitch, and Bailey will foul it out of play. We have some Little League action tonight over there beyond the right field wall. You can probably see a fence, but you can't make anything else out. So there's several cars to the parking lot to my right beyond the first base fence. So always watch those foul balls to see if they go car hunting. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Goad dancing off a second. Here's the pitch, and Tyler Bailey fights it off. And one of the rare foul balls that did get into the stands. Most of the stands, you're protected, except for right beyond the dugouts, right on the edges. And, of course, people like to sit there. It's an unobstructed view, but you got to be on your toes because we've seen some balls whistle into those areas. That one not as scary. 2 balls, 2 strikes here to Bailey. And the pitch. That one's upstairs, ball 3. And the Broncos, if nothing else, they're making Darren Cook really work. 3 balls, 2 strikes. All weekend long, it's the BeeJays and the Broncos. And then next weekend, they'll do the same out in Liberal. Darren Cook has his sign. Rhodes sneaks in over at second, but they're going to worry about Bailey at the dish, and Bailey fouls it off. We saw Alex Lopez start here for Hayes on Tuesday, and he was on the mound ready to pitch before the batters were ready to hit. Cook is a little more on his terms here. He will look in. He's not rushing anything. He's going at his pace. It's worked for him this year, so who can argue that? So 3 balls, 2 strikes. 2 away for the Broncos here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Long look in. Bailey may step out here. No, he's going to stay in there. And now Bailey calls time. That was a long wait there for Tyler. Bailey walked his first time, has a steal tonight. Mason Goat has delivered the first hit of the night for either side. A 1-out single. He's down at second base with 2 out. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Cook's been working the inner third with this 3-2 count. Here's the pitch, and Bailey swings and miss. Boy, another good battle, and again, it's Cook who's been winning these good long battles. No runs on a hit. No errors, 1 left. We're through 3 complete. El Dorado 0, Liberal 0. More play-by-play in a moment. Great to have you watching tonight. You're watching and listening to Bronco Baseball on YouTube. Well, we're moving right along. Last night at this time, we were entering the top of the 3rd inning in a 9-0 Bronco lead. Tonight, we're in the top of the 4th, no score. So Nate Crossman will lead off for the BeeJays here in the 4th inning. First pitch out of the zone, ball 1. Hunter Larson has been in control here. He's got 3 strikeouts through the first 3 innings. No walks. Only 1 ground ball out for the BeeJays. There's a swing and a miss. Larson with a little Uncle Charlie there. That drops in for a strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes. 4 strikeouts for Larson through the first 3 innings. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Ooh, a good spot by Larson. I'm going to guess it was up. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Crossman, Cook, and O'Donnell. The scheduled 3 here for Liberal. And the pitch, and a check swing. Mack, it bounced off him. Waiting for a call. They may appeal here now, Aaron Mack. And they're going to say no swing. Good hustle there by Aaron Mack, just in case he did swing. So 3 balls, 2 strikes. Crossman 0 for 1. Struck out looking his first time. So Larson issues a walk. Just missed. So the first BeeJay runner of the night, Nate Crossman. Here is Zach Cook. He grounded out to short his first time. Cook on the season, batting .275, and he's first pitch swinging and fouls it out of play. And again, right out into the parking lot behind us. 12th game of the year for Cook. 40 at-bats, 11 hits. 1 triple, 5 RBIs. He's walked 6 times. He's struck out 9 times. No balls, 1 strike. And running is the base runner Crossman. Here's a throw down to first, and they had him out, but the ball pops out of the glove of Bailey. And let's see if Bailey's all right. His arm kind of got bent, and that ball, the throw led him towards the first base side of second. Bailey did a good job of catching it, had the tag on him, but then his arm got bent in an awkward fashion. The ball came flying out of his mitt, and the ball ended up almost on the way to third base to Jarrett Coyne. So no balls and 2 strikes here on Cook. And Larson's pitch and fouled into the netting of the BJ dugout. No balls, 2 strikes. These teams coming off 2 very different games. Last night, Liberal was in Oklahoma City, and they won a 2-1 nail-biter, while El Dorado was knocking off the Larks here 16-9. There's a pitch, inner third, strike 3 looking. And a big strikeout for Larson. So here's Cale O'Donnell. He's strikeout victim his first time. O'Donnell, boy, .443 batting average. He has 70 at-bats on the season, 31 hits. So he is definitely an everyday player. And the first ball, slider looked like it just missed, ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. So a runner at second base is Crossman. He walked. O'Donnell, right-handed batter for the BeeJays. And he's out of Fort Collins, Colorado, and that pitch outside, ball 2. Really a dangerous 2-3 combination. O'Donnell is their number 1 batter, and Scott their number 2 batter by average. 2 balls and no strikes here to O'Donnell. The pitch in the turf gets away from Mack. Crossman quickly to third, and that'll be a wild pitch. So some issues here for Larson, who's been so good, still hasn't given up a hit, but a walk, stolen base, now a wild pitch, and he's behind 3-0 to Cale O'Donnell. So a 3-0 pitch, and that one's upstairs, ball 4. And let me get the graphics right. There we go. First and third for Liberal. And Garrett Scott struck out looking his first time. Garrett Scott from Klein, Texas. Hunter Larson looking for that 6-4-3 ball, and this one goes behind Scott. Certainly no intent there. There's just not a well-executed pitch by Larson. You see that in the pros, and the batter will have an ugly look at the pitcher, but I think in this league, no intent there. 1 ball, no strikes, and the pitch, high, ball 2. No action right now in the Bronco bullpen. So 2 balls, no strikes, no score here in the top of the 4th inning, but Liberal with a real good scoring opportunity here. The pitch and that was foul tipped, or the swing, I'm not sure. 2 balls, 1 strike. Either way, it's a strike on Scott. Scott looked a little anxious, 2-0, figured he was going to get in something sweet down the middle, and that one drifted a little bit outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. And the 2-1. Scott lifts it out into left field. Not very deep. Laguerre coming in. He's got the catch. No tag. And Laguerre hits the cutoff man, Jarrett Coyne. And that's a second out. So now the BeeJays will rely on Colton Onstadt. Look for a 2-out hit from him. Got some more emails coming in. Two away. My buddy CJ emailing me here. 1 ball, no strike. CJ Layton, as a college student back in the early 90s, CJ was kind enough to let me work alongside with him and gave me some valuable experience. Here's a line drive out center field. Crosby has it, and Larson works out of trouble here in the 4th. No runs on no hits, no errors, 2 left. So we'll head to the bottom of the 4th inning. We'll get back to your emails, more play-by-play. So glad to have you tuned in tonight. No score, bottom of the 4th. Broncos and BeeJays here on YouTube. Well, we have a good pitchers battle here tonight. 16-9 game last night. Here we have a 0-0 game in the 4th inning tonight between the BeeJays and the Broncos. And Aaron Mack will lead it off for El Dorado here in the bottom of the 4th inning. So CJ, I mentioned earlier, emailing me. And CJ, back in the day, working at KSOK, make the trip when Arc City or Winfield would play at Liberal. Generally, when Winfield playing there was Arc City. Here's Mack, first pitch swinging, and fouls it out of play. And CJ says Liberal, always a fun roadie. I'm not sure it was a fun roadie, but don't make many trips there. And now anymore, if we play, we usually just get a feed from our good buddy Brock Kappelman. Mack trying to split the difference, and does through the right side. A seeing eye single for Aaron Mack. So Colton Schenker will come up for the Broncos. I'm trying to figure out who has more fans out in the YouTube universe. The Riggs family, the Coyne, the Iron, the whole Michigan fans cheering on Riggs and Coyne have been immense. But Austin Meyer has a lot of family that watch and listen. Here's a ball out. Garrett Scott in foul territory will make the catch and retire Colton Schenker for the first out. Scott went a long way and ended up right up against the fence that guards the Bronco bullpen. So Sarah Reese shouting out to the Bronco Nation from Auburndale, Florida. And she's a big fan of any team. Any team that Austin's on is her favorite team. Sarah, thanks so much for the email. I do appreciate it. John Laguerre up there, grounded out to short his first time. He's 0 for 1. No score, bottom of the 4th inning. Aaron Mack led off this 4th inning with a single through the right side, and now a throw over to first, and he's back. Aunt Amy Tate and Josie cheering on Jarrett Coyne and the rest of the Broncos from Petoskey, Michigan. Thank you, Aunt Amy, for the email. I'm cheering on Jarrett Coyne, too. I'm about to get Crosby's here in a moment. 1 ball, no strikes, and Laguerre swings over the top. Chad Crosby, who's on deck. Oh, got a picture from the Crosby family, and they've got their grill open and it's smoking. So they've got some dogs, burgers, watching some Bronco baseball from California tonight. 1 ball, 1 strike. And Laguerre swinging a miss. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Always love the emails and the pictures from Rick and Michelle Crosby. They usually give me something different, too. There's a good variety from the Crosby clan. Nice to have you watching tonight. 1 ball, 2 strikes. John Laguerre standing in there. Cook, long look in. Now a long look over to first. Mac just a couple of steps off of first, and they'll look him up. Again, look over to first base, and Laguerre, 1 ball, 2 strikes, and Laguerre hits it out into center field, right at Crossman. Started back, then came in, and makes the catch. Didn't sound like Laguerre quite squared that one up, and he didn't. So an easy catch for Crossman, the second out of the inning. So 2-away, and here is Chad Crosby. Say hello to the Lockharts. Holly Lockhart sending me an email. The Lockharts are watching in Leroy, Michigan. Go Riggs, they say. And Josh Riggs is coming up next after Chad Crosby. Rick and Michelle's boy is up at the plate here with 2 away. Crosby 0 for 1 tonight. Grounded out to second base. Chad last night was 0 for 3, 2 walks and 1 run scored. Although we were questioning that maybe you could have gotten a hit. Hit that line drive out to center field. It went off the center fielder's glove, who was hustling in. But an error was given. Still a good stroke by Chad last night. Had a homer here Wednesday night. 1 ball and no strikes to Crosby, left-handed batter. And the pitch, that one right across the letters, in there for strike 1. I mentioned earlier he goes to UC San Diego. Now, let's see, San Diego, are they in the West Coast Conference? What division? See if the Crosbys can let me know what. I have a son that goes to the University of Portland. They're in the West Coast Conference. I'm trying to think, is San Diego in that league? I don't think so, but I could be wrong. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Chad Crosby. Aaron Mack led off the inning with a single. Schenker and Laguerre have flown out to the outfield since. 2 away for the Broncos here in the bottom of the 4th inning. And the 1-2, Mack on the move. Crosby takes, and this throw down to second is going to go off of Matt. Mack is, I don't know if the ball hit off Mack's forehead or nose. Let's see if he's all right. The Broncos can really ill afford an injury to Aaron Mack. Coyne caught last night, but had to fight through some injury. Sam Donnell is available. So a stolen base for Aaron Mack. It has not been safe to steal tonight. Tyler Bailey hurt his arm trying to apply a tag on a BeeJay stealing. And now here's Aaron Mack stealing. It looks like either the ball or the BeeJay glove might have gotten him in the face, but Aaron seems to be all right. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Now El Dorado looking for a big 2-out hit here. Outfield, infield playing straight away against Chad Crosby. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out here in the bottom of the 4th inning. And Darren Cook's pitch is on the corner. Crosby hated that call. Looked a little low, looked a little out, but it's called strike 3. So no runs, a hit, no errors, and 1 left. We'll head to the 5th inning. No score from El Dorado. So welcome back here to McDonald Stadium. Chad Crosby got a couple words in and then went about his business. Tough third strike. That was a pitcher's pitch for sure. So we're heading to the 5th inning with no score. Want to remind you, July 8th will be Thank a Veteran Night. All the festivities will begin at 6:30. It's the 4th annual Thank a Veteran Night, and if you have not seen or been here for that night, you really should. It is a great night. The Broncos do such a good job with thanking the veterans. The veterans come out on the field, and they're recognized, and the players, usually the players from both teams, will line up and kind of give high fives, and it's really a special night. Vietnam veteran Dan Morrow will throw out the first pitch after the opening ceremonies, and there's a chance we might have a World War II flyover that night. All that occurs on July 8th here at McDonald Stadium, so put that on your calendar. It is a neat event. Gage Tier will lead off here in the 5th, and he turns on one, but didn't get all of it, and it's going to actually hook into the bullpen foul. Boy, saw him kind of jump out of his shoes there. Looked like he had connected well, but he was out in front. And it looks like Nicole Estes just got home from the T-ball game, and the Estes family listened all the way home. They're cheering on Josh Riggs, who will lead off for El Dorado in the bottom of the 5th inning. Gage Tier popped out to Colton Schenker in foul territory his first time. Nicole, thank you very much for the email. Boy, that's a good pitch by Larson and a nice job by Tier to just fight that one off. Kind of hit up on his bat, but he battled to see another pitch. One ball, 2 strikes. And the pitch in the turf. Mack does a nice job to block it. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Nancy Randall, they're still there watching. They could be out on the lake on the pontoon, but instead they're watching Bronco baseball. Thank you, Nancy. And this one's popped out of play. Harper Lake. I'm not familiar with Harper Lake. Of course, I'm a Wisconsin guy, a central Wisconsin guy. But sounds delightful. I would encourage you to get out on the pontoon tomorrow afternoon, and then you can tune in for Bronco baseball tomorrow night. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and Larson misses. Ball 3. So a full count. And the pitch hit out to left field. Laguerre drifting under it, and he'll make the catch. So that's the first out of the 5th inning. Nice picture from the Riggs clan. Looks nice. Now I see like sweaters and whatnot on. Is it a little chillier up there, I wonder? Thank you for the email, Julie, or for the photo. Love photos. Love them. Chad Crosby's grandparents are watching and listening tonight. Here's a ball out to Mason Goad, and he has just played such a clean second base all year. Fires over to first to retire Trent Maloney. So 2 away, and here comes Brennan Rhodes. And those outs coming so quick, I haven't changed my graphic. There we go. No, 2 outs now. Brennan Rhodes from Snyder, Texas, goes to Lubbock Christian University. He's 5'11", 200. Hunter Larson from the stretch and the pitch. This one's high, ball 1. No score here in the bottom of the 5th inning. One ball, no strikes. Rhodes batting .227 on the season. Wow. After seeing Crosby get rung up on a pitch that looked like that one was inside of what Crosby's was. Nonetheless, ball 2. So the 3-0. Brennan Rhodes, the number 8 batter at .227. Not a guy that Larson wants to miss here. Rhodes 0 for 1, flew out to center field. And a 3-0 pitch. That one's in there for strike 1. 3 balls, 1 strikes. Caleb Ward waits on deck for Liberal. Nice crowd here tonight at Broncos Stadium. Great night to come out and watch baseball, that's for sure. 3 balls, 1 strike. And the pitch. Wow. So the zone got a little squeezed on Larson there. That was 2 pitches that, boy, we've seen him called for strikes tonight. So a good for the BeeJays because, you know, no matter what, even if Ward gets out, they'll have the top of their lineup up to start off the 6th inning. Caleb Ward, 0 for 1, struck out looking his first time. The sun has popped through, as you can tell. And I don't know if it shows as well. Yeah, it does. You can tell over at first base. It is a tough sun for the runner to look into and for the first baseman Schenker to look into. Ward started off with a slider. That's in there for strike 1. So no balls and 1 strike. Larson with the pitch, curveball, and got this call. So I didn't see much difference from that pitch to the 2 others that were called balls on Rhodes. Ward gets the short end here, and now he's down 0-2. Runner at first is Rhodes. And the pitch bounced towards third, and we'll do it again. Great picture of Jarrett Coyne's number 1 fan, Tate. Tate watching his buddy Jarrett Coyne. Here's a ball lifted out into right center field. Who wants it? It looks like it'll be Olsen. He gloves it, and that will end the inning. And the BeeJays are without a hit through the first 5 innings. Broncos only have 2 hits, and neither team has a run. No score. We're halfway through from El Dorado. 0-0. More in a moment here on YouTube. Well, the Riggs clan, we've got a lot of folks watching up in the Irons, Michigan area, and they're ready for Josh Riggs to come up. Josh 0 for 1 tonight. No score, bottom of the 6th inning. And Darren Cook winds and deals, and Josh got jammed into foul territory. Tier ranging over. Now the shortstop, Cook, takes over, and Riggs is retired. Good communication over there. Tier looked like he had a good beat on it, but it's so much easier for the shortstop coming over to make that play.
Number 8, Ben Olson.
So here's Ben Olson. 0 for 1 tonight, grounded out to second his first time. And Olson, first pitch swinging, fouls this one into the bullpen area. So no balls and a strike. Cook, the righty, winds and deals. That pitch a little bit high, ball 1. We mentioned Cook earlier. He came into play tonight. 17 1/3 innings of work, and he only allowed 2 earned runs. So add 4 more to that. His ERA continues to drop. That pitch just missed, 2-1. So 2 balls and a strike. So Cook has been a tough one to handle this year for other teams. The Broncos have had a couple runners in scoring position tonight with less than 2 outs, but have been unable to get a hit in those situations. That one just missed. So both pitchers getting squeezed a little bit here in the 5th inning. That looked like a strike, didn't it? 3 balls, 1 strike. Mitch McIntyre, John Steiger up here, and that pitch, and that's in the same spot, called strike 2. Now it is Steiger, right? Steiger, all right. You never know. I want to make sure we're getting it right. From Leon, Kansas, just up the road, the 1A state baseball champions, right? Olson hits it out to shortstop. Cook has it on the big hop over to first, and that will retire Ben Olson. So 2 away. Man. They are. That'd be nice. Yeah, the BeeJays coming in winners of 10 in a row. Broncos have won 1 in a row. Looking to.
Killing you guys on the AC tonight.
Are they? Yeah. Is there AC down there? No AC. I got my fan, although it's not even cold. It's not even hot though, Mitch.
It's not that bad today.
We got Mitch McIntyre, John Steiger up here. No balls, 1 strike. Let me ask you what you're seeing from. Let's see. I'm going to take this off. What are you seeing from Hunter Larson tonight?
Well, Hunter's been attacking the zone, it looks like. I remember in the early innings, it was kind of odd that he was throwing his curveball early in the count, which you don't see too often, especially the first time through the order. So maybe that's a sign of respect for the other team and kind of what they've done this year. But I mean, he's pitched real well. You can see that. You don't want to jinx anything, but if you look at the score line, he's pitching a good game, as one would say.
See, I have not said that. I have not gone there. Mitch, thanks a lot. Mason Goad flies out to center field, and that will end the 5th inning. Always good to see the Bronco players up here. So we are done with 5 innings, and we still have no score between Liberal and El Dorado. More coming up from McDonald's Stadium in a moment here on YouTube. Gina, you know there's a 1 up there for the runs for El Dorado?
How did that happen?
I mean, I like it, but I don't think it counts. Well, that's what I thought. That's why I thought I'm not going to say anything because she'd already got it up there. So welcome back, top of the 6th inning here from McDonald Stadium. And both teams will be going to the top of the order here in the 6th. For Liberal, it's Crossman, Cook, and O'Donnell. And Crossman fouls this one off his foot, so it's 0-2. And fans, El Dorado fans who are used to the broadcast, you might notice I haven't been doing as much zooming in. Again, I think I made a few people seasick, and I'm not really messing with that right now. I'll play with it tomorrow before we go on the air and make sure everything's nice and tight. Crossman, I think, thought that might get him on the shoulder. He leaned out of the way, and it just missed him. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Nate Crossman, 0 for 1 with a walk. Crossman walked, stole second, advanced to third on a wild pitch, but Larson was able to work out of that jam in the 4th. Liberal had runners at first and third with 1 out. But Garrett Scott flew out to shallow left, and Colton Onstadt flew out to center. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And that pitch in there for strike 3. Crossman looked crossed up on that one. Crossman tried to foul. He fouled it with his eyes across the dish, but he is rung up. Great picture. Fans, I'm telling you, it's so fun to just see the posts that you're sending. His first pitch to Zach Cook, fouled straight back, strike 1. It really is so much fun. When I do games, I broadcast for high schools and colleges, and usually on radio. So I have at least an in-studio engineer I can talk with, and fans around me, but you know, here it's just me on the YouTube broadcast, so it's nice to all of you sending your emails and sending the photos too. They're so much fun. Thank you to Uncle Dan and Josh. I got to see Uncle Dan and Josh's cousins from Mason, Michigan. Oh, here's one right off of Hunter Larson, and that hit him in the head and ricocheted over to Jarrett Coyne. And so we'll hope for some good thoughts now here. That will be a hit. Zach Cook right up the middle, and Cook feels as bad as anyone. That's not what anyone wants to do, and certainly not obviously trying to do that. Nice sharp single up the middle, but it went right off the temple, it looked like, of Hunter Larson. And that will be the first hit of the night for the BeeJays. That one ricocheted so hard it went over to Jarrett Coyne at third base, and Coyne nearly threw Cook out at first. That made quite a sound, and that's a good sign to see Larson now sit it up. So we've got it zoomed in there for you. I said I wasn't going to mess with the camera, but this I can certainly do. I think this is worthy of that. And unfortunately, when I zoom in, the net, it focus in on the net. So you see Larson a little bit blurry, so I'm going to zoom it back out a little bit. That's Doug Bell, the general manager, standing right next to the umpire there. Susan B. Allen Memorial Hospital Rehabilitation Services, they're here for every game, and we don't mention them near enough. Larson now to his feet, gets a nice ovation. And they're gonna take Hunter out. And he's smiling, it looks like, so certainly maybe we dodged a bullet there on a major injury. So good to see Hunter able to walk off. That is just a great sign. So we're going to get a new pitcher for the Broncos, and we'll tell you about him. Boy, Hunter Larson really pitched a fine ball game here tonight. So Avery Reedmiller is going to be the new pitcher. We'll give you some numbers on Avery. He's going to have plenty of time to warm up. So we'll be back with more play-by-play. It's 0-0 in the top of the 6th inning. And welcome back. Kurt Caden here from McDonald Stadium. And again, Hunter Larson taking a line drive off the noggin, and he was able to get up under his own power and walk off, and it looked like he had a smile on his face. So Hunter Larson goes 5 1/3 innings, gave up 1 hit tonight and no runs. The runner on first is his responsibility, and here's a tough hitter in Cale O'Donnell. Avery Reedmiller pitching for the Broncos. A little hit and run from Liberal, and strike 1 on that foul ball. Want to say hello to, let's see, what do we got? Carson Coyne, Jarrett's little brother, just finished his tournament games for the day and now watching the Broncos. He and Mom wishing they were here. Carson's a good-looking dude. Here's the 0-1 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Avery Reedmiller from Wichita goes to Newman University. The 0-2 pitch, and O'Donnell had a notion. He held up, 1 ball and 2 strikes. That looks like a hotel room for the Coins. Love it, love it. Great photo. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Great picture of Carson Coyne. Looks like a good player. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to O'Donnell. He's 0 for 1 with a walk. And the pitch, high, ball 3. Cook over at first has had a couple of bluffs, and that seemed to speed Reedmiller up on that delivery. So a 3-2 pitch, runner going, and that ball inside. So the BeeJays with runners at first and second with 1 out. Second walk of the night for O'Donnell. And here comes Garrett Scott. Scott 0 for 2 tonight, struck out looking. And the California folks, the Crosbys. Let's see, we got Chad's mom, and grandparents. There's a pitch from Reedmiller in there for strike 1. Excellent picture. And the dog, I didn't get the dog's name. He snuck in there. Hello to the Crosbys. No balls and a strike. Scott flips this one into foul territory. Shanker coming in and could not get there as it ends up in the dugout of the BeeJays. Scott has to feel like he's getting a second life up there now. That was could very nearly a very unproductive out. So thank you to the Crosbys and all of you for the photos. These are just making my night. Along with this good baseball we're seeing. 0-0, top of the 6th inning. No balls, 2 strikes, the pitch. And Scott pokes it down the right field line. That's fair, to the wall. Cook will score. O'Donnell will stop at third. It's a 1 RBI double for Garrett Scott. He just went with that pitch. Guided it to right field. So some tough luck for the Broncos here. They lose their starting pitcher, and now they lose the shutout, and Liberal cracks a scoreboard first tonight, 1-0. Colton Onstadt stepping in. The Onstadts are watching and listening to our broadcast tonight, and there's a foul for strike 1. Avery Reedmiller, his 7th game, 14 2/3 innings of work. He's given up 17 hits, 13 earned runs, so a 7.9 ERA for Reedmiller. Here's one laced foul. So 2 strikes to Onstadt. Liberal fans, if you're wondering all these emails I'm getting, you can join us too. This is not just an El Dorado line. We'll love to see your emails. Caden Broadcasting, C-A-D-E-N, cadenbroadcasting at gmail.com. Here's the 0-2 pitch to Onstadt. Hit up the middle. That'll score a run. Goad fields it. He'll throw to first and retire Onstadt. Scott will advance on to third. So Onstadt with the RBI. So 2-0 Liberal. And Gage Tier 0 for 2 tonight. Larson induced a lot of fly balls. Onstadt, we'll go with the strikeouts here. Let's see, he had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 strikeouts from Hunter Larson tonight. Gave up 1 hit and now 1 run. 1 ball and 1 strike here to Gage Tier. But the fly balls, he induced 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 fly ball outs in 5 1/3 innings of work. Check swing, did not check. It'll be a strike. So Gage Tier has a 1-ball, 2-strike count. Garrett Scott stands down at third base. He's got the biggest hit of the night, that RBI double. And the pitch from Reed Miller, and fouled out of play. So 1 ball and 2 strikes, 2 away for Liberal here in their half of the 6th inning. Reed Miller, right-handed pitcher, has his sign and the pitch, and that one's in there for strike 3. So Reed Miller comes in a tough situation, trying to come in for Hunter Larson, who is pitching so well. The BeeJays end up scoring 2 runs on 2 hits, their first 2 hits of the night. No errors, 1 left. We will head to the bottom of the 6th inning. Liberal 2, El Dorado 0. So the El Dorado Broncos staring at a 2-0 deficit here in the bottom of the 6th inning and the top of the order. Well, Carson Coyne is watching Jarrett here. Jarrett stands in. And Coyne thought about laying down a bunt, and it's out of the zone, ball 1. Tough righty, Darren Cook. Talked a lot about Hunter Larson. Darren Cook has been really good. He's only allowed 2 hits. Coyne looks at ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. Coyne, Bailey, and Mack are the scheduled 3 here for El Dorado in the bottom of the 6th inning. And the 2-0 pitch. Coyne laces it. That's a fair ball down the third base line. Jarrett rounds first. He's on his way to second base, and he slides in with a double. Jarrett Coyne with a leadoff double for El Dorado. Probably just how Carson taught him how to do it. So a good start for El Dorado here in the home half of the 6th inning. Say hello to Allie Cook, Chad Crosby's girlfriend, watching from California tonight. Hello, Allie. Welcome to the broadcast. So here's Tyler Bailey, 0 for 1 tonight. Strikeout and a walk. And the first pitch to Bailey, chopped towards third. That won't advance the runner, and a throw to first in the turf, and a terrific scoop over there by O'Donnell. I wasn't so sure he kept his foot on the bag, but no argument. That was an excellent play by O'Donnell at first. So here's Aaron Mack. Aaron Mack, 1 for 2 tonight. He had a seeing eye single through the right side his last time up. He also stole a base. 2-2-0 for Liberal, 0-3-0 for El Dorado. Coyne with a lead off a second. Here's the pitch to Mack, and a swing over the top. Strike one. So no balls and a strike to Mack. Colton Schenker waits on deck. And Mack hits it hard out into right field. That's a base hit. Coyne had to wait to see if it was going to be caught. And Aaron Mack with his second hit of the night. Runners at first and third for El Dorado. That might have been Coyne and Mack's, both their hits, probably the two sharpest hits of the night for El Dorado. So here comes Colton Schenker, and we'll get a mound visit. Want to let you know about El Dorado Youth Baseball and Softball Little League Night here at McDonald Stadium on Sunday night. It's sponsored by Albert Hogaboom Oilfield Trucking. El Dorado Youth Baseball and Softball teams are invited to take the field with the Broncos in pregame ceremonies. The El Dorado Instructional T-ball teams will be presented with medals during the pregame ceremony. Come on down, wear your team shirt, enjoy a free hot dog at the Bronco feed bag. Cannon McCormick and Bronson Larimer will be throwing out the first pitch, and they'll be Bronco Bat Boys for the evening. Should be a fun night here. Sunday night, final game of our 3-game series with the BeeJays, and it'll be El Dorado Youth Baseball and Softball Little League Night. Should be fun here, Sunday night. Colton Schenker. He's got the orange bat, and he looks at ball one. Aaron Mack has a stolen base tonight. Jarrett Coyne's over at third base. He led off this inning with a double. And a throw over to first, and Mack's back in. Two-zero Liberal. And Schenker swings and misses, strike one. Colton Schenker hitting .303 on the season. His 11th game, 33 at-bats coming in. Schenker has 4 RBIs on the season. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Schenker. And that one stays upstairs, ball 2. Colton Schenker from Augusta, Kansas, just down the road, goes to Labette County Community College. Runners at the corners, 1 out, and a throw over to first. Cook wants to keep that tying run over at first base. He's going to keep Mack honest. 2 balls, 1 strike. And the pitch. And Schenker hit it hard out to center field, and it'll be caught out there by Crossman. Tagging and scoring is Jarrett Coyne. So a sacrifice fly, and the Broncos are on the scoreboard. Not easy scoring runs against Darren Cook. Now John Laguerre up there. Schenker hit that well. Unfortunately for him, right at Crossman, the center fielder. So 2 balls and a strike. John Laguerre 0 for 2 tonight. A ground out to short, and he flew out to center field. Aaron Mack over at first base. And that one in the turf. Nice job by Onstadt, keeping that in front of him. 2-1 Liberal here in the 6th. Neither team scored through the first 5. Liberal broke through with 2 in the top half of this inning. The Broncos have answered with 1. And the pitch. That's fastball right in there, strike 1. Chad Crosby waits on deck for El Dorado. Cook, long look in, then he generally holds for a while, freezes the runner at first, and now the pitch to Laguerre. Mack is on the move, didn't get a very good job, but in there. Stolen base for Aaron Mack. Aaron did not get a great jump. And if Rhodes would have caught that one, it would have been an out. So 2 balls and a strike. Laguerre looking for a game-tying single here. Mack with a good lead off a second. And the 2-1. Laguerre fouls it straight back. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Laguerre from Purdue University. Cook, very deliberate out there. And Laguerre waiting. He'll wait on Cook, and now he'll call time. Liberal comes into play tonight, leading our league. They're 13-3. Derby is 2 games out at 11-5. The Hayes Larks are 2 games out. They're 10-4. Dodge City 9-6. El Dorado is 7-10. They're 6.5 back. So this 3-game series with Liberal is crucial for El Dorado. Great Bend is 6-11, 7.5 back. Hayesville at 5-12, 8.5 out. And Oklahoma City is 3-13. They're 10 games back. 2-2 pitch to Laguerre, and that will... I thought he checked his swing. So Laguerre is going to be called out on strikes. Boy, that was not a definitive call from the umpire, that's for sure. The BeeJays really sold it, and the umpire was buying. The Broncos score 1 time. They got 2 hits in the inning. No errors, 1 left. We'll head to the 7th inning. Liberal 2, El Dorado 1. More play-by-play in a moment here on YouTube. Top of the 7th inning here from McDonald Stadium. The bottom 3 for the BeeJays stand in, and here's Trent Maloney swinging and missing at strike 1. We'll get back to some emails here that have been coming in. No balls, 1 strike. And that's and away, ball 1. Let's see, Donna Long. This is Josh Riggs' other proud grandparents sitting by the screen cheering on our boy in Luther, Michigan, the other side of Lake County. So hello, Donna Long. I think Josh Riggs has the biggest fan club out there. But there are a lot of good, well, I love being able to visit with you. I know parents, it's fun to be able to see what's going on with your sons. Ball lifted out into left field. Laguerre's got a beat on it, and he'll make the catch for the first out. So Maloney is 0 for 3. Brendan Rhodes will step in for Liberal, 0 for 1 with a walk. Those of you wondering, Hunter Larson, the Broncos starter who was hit in the head by a line drive. We don't have any updates. Probably won't get anything up here. But it looked okay as he left the field. So we'll hope that he's all right. Reed Miller misses on the second pitch. That one went all the way up the netting and almost over the top of the netting. 1 ball and 1 strike to Brendan Rhodes. Rhodes from Snyder, Texas, looks at ball 2. Rhodes goes to Lubbock Christian University, 5'11", 200-pounder up there. 227 hitter coming in, and he'll hit one out to shortstop. Tyler Bailey has it, and Bailey, strong throw to first, will retire Rhodes. So 2 away. And Caleb Ward will step in. Caleb Ward is from Hampton, Virginia, goes to Richmond. They're the Spiders. And he fouls the first pitch. So strike 1 to Caleb Ward. Top of the 7th inning, 2-1 in favor of Liberal. Liberal has won 10 games in a row. They beat Oklahoma City last night 2-1. So another tight one for the BeeJays. First place team in our league. Broncos have action in their bullpen. No balls, 2 strikes, and the pitch in the turf, ball 1. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The 1-2 pitch, foul tipped into the glove of Mack, and a strikeout for Reed Miller. So a little bit of a shaky start for Avery, but he has come on strong, and he has retired 5 in a row. We are ready to stretch here in El Dorado. Bottom of the 7th inning coming up. 2-1 Liberal here on YouTube. So bottom of the 7th inning here from El Dorado. And a new pitcher, Zach Autan, comes in for Darren Cook. And the first pitch, Crosby hits it up the middle. Sliding stop by the second baseman, but he could not get a throw off. That'll be a base hit for Chad Crosby, leading off the 7th inning for El Dorado. So the book on Darren Cook tonight, 6 innings pitched, gave up 1 run on 4 hits, 6 strikeouts and 1 walk. Good effort by Cook. Hunter Larson tonight for the Broncos went 5 1/3, gave up 1 run on 1 hit, 6 strikeouts and 3 walks. Here is Josh Riggs. And he looks at strike 1. A pitch to Josh outside, ball 1. Josh last night 3 for 4 with 4 RBIs, had a triple. They shade him a little bit to the left field side, not much. 1 ball, 1 strike, and that one missing. 2-1 to Riggs. Josh Riggs up there, 6'6". He's from Irons, Michigan, if you haven't figured that out. 6'6", 210. 2 balls and a strike, and Riggs, that one goes past. Riggs is running, but that's only ball 3. Riggs will have to go back, just getting a little extra work in. It's 3 balls and a strike. The runner, Crosby, advances to second on the wild pitch. Riggs should get something pretty here. 3 balls and a strike. Autan is out of Harvey, Louisiana. Goes to Nichols State University, the pitcher for Liberal. And Riggs hits it up the middle, and that's into the outfield. Crosby rounds third. Here he comes. Crosby is going to score. Josh Riggs has tied this game up. Single, wild pitch, single, and the Broncos have tied it at 2. Here comes Ben Olsen. He's 0 for 2 tonight. 2 infield groundouts, 1 to second, 1 to short. 2-2. And Olsen squares. That slider goes outside. Ball 1. The third baseman, Tier, ready to charge in. Olsen not squaring. This one gets away from the catcher. And that'll be a wild pitch. Josh Riggs down to second base. And it's a 2-0 count. Now, all of Darren Cook's good work. Our starters tonight were really good, and neither of them will be a part of the decision. 2 balls and no strikes. Lefty on lefty here. And this pitch missing. Ball 3. So Autan's getting squeezed a little bit. And the pitch to Olsen, and that one right in there. Got away from Onstad for just a moment. 3 balls and 1 strike. So now what does Toby Reuter want here? Do you go back with the bunt, try to get Riggs to third, or do you let Olsen swing away? Mason Goad waits on deck. And the pitch to Olsen. That one's in there for strike 2. And I think Ben knew that was the pitch he needed to be ready to make something happen. Riggs down at second base. Full count to Ben Olsen. And Autan wants to talk with Onstad. Want to thank Brad and Roxanne Cool at El Dorado Building Systems Incorporated, great sponsors of Bronco baseball and our broadcasts. They're at 1216 West 6th here in El Dorado, and they are the leaders in the metal building market. Thank you, Brad and Roxanne Cool. 3 balls, 2 strikes. And the pitch to Olsen, that one's off the plate, ball 4. So Autan fell behind 3-0, worked it back full, but then loses Olsen. So the first 3 have reached for El Dorado here against Autan. Broncos and BeeJays will play tomorrow night here, and then again Sunday night. Off day Monday, and then El Dorado goes to Derby on Tuesday, and then Derby will be here Wednesday night for a doubleheader. And again, just wanted to let you know that on Wednesday night, the doubleheader will start at 6 p.m. It'll be 2 7-inning games with usually about 15 minutes or so in between. So the whole infield visited with Otan, and all the Broncos were over here on the side. It was just like a timeout. Both teams huddled up and figured out what they're going to do. Mason Goad. You would think in a bunting situation, he squares around, lays the bunt down. Otan looked at third, now to first, and the second baseman. What a terrific play by Rhodes to keep his foot on the base and make the catch. So Goad is retired. That's a sacrifice bunt for Goad. He's retired 1-4. The runners move up to second and third. What a marvelous grab by Rhodes. Otan took a look at third when he realized he didn't have a play there. He fired to first, and he was not terribly accurate. But a great job by Rhodes to glove it and keep a foot on the base. So the Broncos have Jarrett Coyne up there with runners at second and third. The Liberal defense comes in. The infield is in. And they're going to walk Coyne. They're going to intentionally walk Coyne. So in this day and age, you don't have to throw the 4 pitches. You just say, we want to walk him. And that'll send the middle infielders will come back to double play depth, while the corners will play in for Liberal. Tyler Bailey hit a grand slam here last night. And he steps up there in a bases-loaded, one-out situation. Tyler Bailey from Stafford, Virginia. And the pitch from Otan, and he's in there for strike one. So no balls and a strike. Good gap in right center field. If Bailey could hit it, he would run for days. You can probably see that on your screen. Low and away, ball one. 1 ball, 1 strike. Bottom of the 7th inning, we're tied at 2. Crosby singled, Riggs singled him in after he advanced to second on a wild pitch. Olsen walked, go to sacrifice, and an intentional walk to Coyne. 2 balls and a strike to Bailey. Liberal they're playing for the double play here. 2-1 to Bailey. Outside, ball 3. Aaron Mack waits on deck. Otan got the first strike, but has thrown 3 straight balls since. Aunt Sally says they're screaming up in Irons, Michigan after Josh Riggs drove in Chad Crosby to tie this game. And now the Broncos looking for a big 7th inning here. 3 balls, 1 strike to Tyler Bailey. And that one nowhere close, ball 4, and the Broncos take the lead. And that's going to be it for Otan. His only out was a remarkable play by the second baseman on a sacrifice bunt. So Coyne moves to second, Olsen over to third, Riggs scores. Broncos lead 3-2. New pitcher for Liberal will be back here on YouTube. So Derek Kraft is the new pitcher for the Liberal BeeJays. He is a 6'8", 215-pounder from Hawkins, Texas. Goes to the University of Texas at San Antonio. Kraft, see if we can get some numbers on him for you. 4 fifth game, 5 2/3, and he hasn't given up a run. 5 walks and 8 strikeouts. So Aaron Mack with the bases loaded and El Dorado leading 3-2. Started off with strike 1. The Broncos have 2 singles and 3 walks here in this 7th inning. 1 sacrifice bunt from Mason Goad. No balls and a strike. Mack 2 for 3 tonight with a couple of singles. Here's the pitch. Low, ball 1. Boy, it's 6'8". Kraft is right on you. So 1 ball, 1 strike to Aaron Mack. And Mack behind on that fastball, 1-2. Three, 6-0 for El Dorado, 2-2-0 for Liberal. Here it is, the 1-2, and Mack swings and misses. Strike 3, a big strikeout for Liberal. So now the Broncos looking for a 2-out hit from Colton Schenker. The defenders, the infield, will go back to normal position now with 2 away. They've got to force at any base. Colton Schenker 0 for 2 with a sacrifice fly. Here's the pitch from Kraft, and a broken bat rolled to first, and an easy put out for O'Donnell. So Kraft really cleans up a really big mess nicely. El Dorado scores 2 times on 2 hits, no errors, 3 left. We'll head to the 8th. 3-2 El Dorado here on YouTube. Time for the top of the 8th inning here from El Dorado, and the Broncos have a new pitcher and Austin Myers fan club. I'm sure watching closely here. Austin Meyer now pitching for the Broncos here in the 8th inning, and he'll deal with the top of the order for the Liberal BeeJays. Nate Crossman will lead it off. Myers' first pitch, high and tight, ball 1. For Avery Reedmiller tonight, he goes an inning and 2/3, gave up 1 run on 1 hit, struck out 2 and walked 1. Here's the 1-0. That one's in there for strike 1. Crossman tonight 0 for 2. Couple of strikeouts looking. And he has walked once. And this ball hit towards third. Jarrett Coyne fields it, fires over to first, and retires Crossman. 1 away. Here comes Zach Cook, the freshman from Flower Mound, Texas, goes to UT Arlington. It was Zach Cook's hit that went off the head of the starter, Hunter Larson, who had a no-hitter at the time. Cook reached first. He eventually scored the first Liberal run tonight. 1 ball and no strikes, so Cook 1 for 3 tonight, and he goes off speed and in there for strike 1. Austin Meyer in his 8th game. He's gone 11 innings, given up 6 earned runs. 5 walks, 8 strikeouts for Austin. Here's the 1-1 pitch, just on the outside, 2-1. Here comes the 2-1, and this one's fouled straight back, 2-2. Austin Meyer hails from Ormond Beach, California, 6 foot, 195. Tried to zoom in on him for the Meyer clan watching. Here's one hit out into center field. Chad Crosby ranging. Crosby made the catch. Chad Crosby, a diving catch out in center field. Kyle Barfield, usually out in center field, getting a night off. And Chad Crosby showing he can play good center field as well. So, 2 away for Liberal here in the top of the 8th inning, and the pitch to O'Donnell drops in there for strike 1. Cale O'Donnell 0 for 1 with 2 walks. He walked and scored in the 6th. O'Donnell fouls it. No balls, 2 strikes to O'Donnell. And the 0-2 pitch from Olson, a little bit high, ball 1. Excuse me, from Meyer, I beg your pardon. So 1 ball, 2 strikes to a dangerous hitter, Cale O'Donnell. The pitch skips past Mack, 2-2. 3-2 Broncos here in the top of the 8th, trying to snap the 10-game winning streak for the Liberal BeeJays. And the 2-2 pitch. And that one, I don't know where that was. That missed, and it's full. Pretty good pitch there by Austin Meyer. Now a full count. Meyer winds and deals. The 3-2. Hit out into left field. Laguerre, right in his footsteps, makes the catch. And that will retire the side. A 1-2-3 inning for Austin Meyer. We'll head to the bottom of the 8th inning. Broncos 3, BeeJays 2 here on YouTube. So bottom of the 8th inning here. El Dorado looking for some insurance now against this tough right-hander, Derek Kraft. And he starts John Laguerre off with strike one. Laguerre goes from the stretch. And this fastball low, ball one. One ball, one strike. And now Onstad will come out and visit. And Laguerre looks at strike two. So 2 balls, 2 strikes. So 2 balls, 2 strikes to Laguerre. It's Laguerre, Crosby, and Riggs here in the 8th inning for El Dorado. John Laguerre tonight 0 for 3. Ground out to short, flew out to center, and he struck out in the 6th inning. 1-1 pitch. Missed. So 2 balls and a strike. And Laguerre looks at strike 2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes. So 2 balls, 2 strikes to Laguerre. It's Laguerre, Crosby, and Riggs here in the 8th inning for El Dorado. And that pitch low, ball 3. So a 3-2 pitch here to the Purdue product, John Laguerre, and he'll foul this one out of play. .68. He's a tall drink of water. Three balls, 2 strikes here to Laguerre, and the pitch hit in the hole and gloved by the shortstop, but Laguerre's going to have an infield single. Nice job over there by Cook to glove it. So here's Chad Crosby for the Broncos. Crosby started off the 7th inning with a single. He eventually scored on Josh Riggs' single that tied the game at 2. The Broncos pushed one more across, and they lead 3-2. Crosby squares, and it's out of the zone, ball 1. We got some good news on Hunter Larson, the pitcher that was hit in the head. They did take him to the hospital, but seems to be doing okay. So that's great news for Hunter Larson. Here's the 1-0. Crosby doesn't square, and it's out of the zone, ball 2. Laguerre getting his lead off of first base for El Dorado. 2 balls and no strikes here to Chad Crosby. Girlfriend Allie is watching, and she sees a swing and a miss. Strike 1. So 2 balls and a strike. These 2 teams will play, of course, Saturday and Sunday, and they'll play next Friday, Saturday, and Sunday in Liberal. Chad Crosby tonight, 1 for 3. And the pitch, that's right in there for strike 2. Popping the glove of Colton Onstad. 3-7-0 for El Dorado. 2-2-0 for the BeeJays. Here's the 2-2. Just missed. 3-2. So a full count. There's a big pitch here to Chad Crosby. Runner moving, and that pitch fouled straight back. So the Broncos, we've seen them a little more aggressive on the base pads tonight. Three-two pitch here from Kraft. Runner moving again. Laguerre swinging a miss. The throw down to second base, and it's a stolen base. So John Laguerre steals second. Crosby strikes out. And Josh Riggs will step in. Josh Riggs. He's 1 for 3 tonight. RBI and a run scored for Josh. Here's the pitch to Riggs, low, ball 1. The crew in Irons, Michigan. Yeah, I think I can hear him already. One ball, no strikes to Riggs. And here's the pitch. Riggs, a mighty cut, challenge fastball, and that little win there is going to Kraft. That's power on power right there. Pitch in there, strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. So a 1-2 here to Josh Riggs. 6'8" against 6'6", and Kraft strikes out Riggs looking. 2 tall drinks of water out there. Kraft has been really good. He allowed the 1 single to Laguerre. 3 strikeouts. Two away for El Dorado here in the 8th inning, and Ben Olsen looks at ball 1. Ben Olsen 0 for 2 tonight. He walked his last time, advanced all the way to 3rd before being stranded there. Kraft will deal, and the pitch. Olsen hits it out into left field, and foul. Just sliced foul. Couple of feet off the line there. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Ben Olsen trying the left field line there. Just sliced it off by a couple of feet. Liberal scored 2 in the 6th. El Dorado 1 in the 6th, 2 in the 7th. And Olsen looks at strike 2. Kraft is really pounding the zone. One ball, 2 strikes. And the pitch from Kraft fouled off. Good swing there by Olsen. So 1 ball, 2 strikes here to Ben Olsen. Ben from Bethel Heights, Arkansas. Here's the pitch, and again going the other way, and that's fouled into the bullpen. So a good battle here between Olsen and Kraft. Don't forget, you can pick up your El Dorado Broncos The Boys of Summer calendar fund. It's a fundraiser. 8.5 by 11 inch wall calendar, $15 or $20 if you need it shipped. All the proceeds go to the Broncos. Be fun to see your loved one there in the calendar. Olsen right off the end of the bat, foul ball. So he's making Kraft work here. Casey Wolf is the one to get a hold of for that. And also if you want a trading card or a button for $5, Casey can do that. And if you want them by family weekend, just let her know by Thursday, July 6th. On Facebook, it's 321 Action Photography. Here's the 1-2 to Olsen. And Ben fouls it off again. Her email is all one word. The number is 321, and then the words actionphotography@gmail.com. And you can call 316-305-8259 if you'd like to get a trading card or a button. Good battle here. John Laguerre led off the inning with an infield single. He stands down at second base with 2 away. Mason Goad waits on deck for El Dorado. And the 1-2. That one's right in there for strike 3. Ben thought it was a little off the plate. Umpire says it was on the plate. No runs on a hit, no errors, and 1 left. We'll head to the 9th inning. El Dorado 3, Liberal 2. Top of the 9th inning here in El Dorado. Garrett Scott will lead it off for the BeeJays against Garrett Hudson. First pitch in there for a strike. Garrett Hudson last night went 1 inning and struck out 2 Hayes Larks. He'll try to get the save tonight. And a swing and a miss. No balls and 2 strikes very quickly on Garrett Scott. Garrett Scott tonight has a double. His double gave the BeeJays a 1-0 lead. And a challenge fastball, strike 3. Power on power there, and Garrett Hudson wins that duel. So Colton Onstadt will step in. Onstadt 0 for 3 tonight, a couple of flyouts to center field, and an RBI ground out to second base. Garrett Hudson, again, 2 strikeouts last night against Hayes. First pitch in there, swing and a miss, strike 1. 1 pitch from Hudson. Curveball stayed upstairs, ball 1. Garrett Hudson is from here in El Dorado. Goes to school in at Abilene Christian. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Fouled straight back, 1-2. Dan Bellman let me know that Kira and Alex were excited when the Broncos went ahead. They're Josh Riggs' cousins. So hello, Kira and Alex. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And Hudson winds and deals the pitch. Reach out there, hit out to Bailey. Bailey's got it. Strong throw to first. Will retire on Stott. So 2 away, and here comes Gage Tier. And not Gage Tier. James Hardberger from Lubbock, Texas. 6'5", 250. Will pinch hit. Hardberger. And check swing, did not check. They call it a strike. No balls and a strike. James Hardberger. Hudson's pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. Garrett Hudson in his 3rd game for the Broncos. 2 innings, giving up 1 earned run. No record. He's looking for a save here tonight. Avery Reedmiller is on the hook to win this one. Here's the 0-2. Just a little bit low. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 4th Bronco pitcher of the night. Hunter Larson went 5 1/3. Reedmiller went 1 2/3. Austin Meyer went 1 inning. 3-2 Broncos. Here's the 1-2 pitch. And fouled out of play. Hardberger spoils that effort. 3-7-0 for the Broncos. 2 runs on 2 hits for Liberal. Their 2 hits came in the 6th inning. 1 off of Hunter Larson's temple, and then a double by Garrett Scott. Here comes the 1-2 from Hudson. And this one's chopped out to Bailey. He'll wait for the big hop. Now throws to first, and the Broncos win. El Dorado snaps the 10-game win streak for Liberal. A 3-2 win for the Broncos here tonight. And the Broncos win back-to-back games for the first time since June 3rd and 4th when they knocked off Hayesville here at McDonald Stadium. There are the Bronco players celebrating. Let's get a look at that scoreboard for you. There it is. And El Dorado will celebrate a 16-9 win last night and now a 3-2 nail-biter here tonight over the Liberal BeeJays. A much-needed win for the Broncos. This is such a big series with the first-place team in town. Winning pitcher tonight is Avery Reedmiller. The losing pitcher is Zach Otan. The save to Garrett Hudson. Time of tonight's game, 2 hours and 31 minutes. Broncos win 3-2. Game 2 of this 3-game series will be tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. We'll have the video and the audio for you here on YouTube, so we hope you'll be a part of all the action. So until tomorrow night, Kurt Caden bidding you good night. Thank you so much. All the emails and all the photos. Love seeing those. And hope to see a lot more tomorrow night. Again, until tomorrow night, Kurt Caden bidding you good night from El Dorado.